Welcome everybody to another edition of the Crypto Crew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Glad you guys could be here today with us.
Yep.
We've got one guy missing, but he's taking care of some business over at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So Pat will be with us probably next week or the week after. But
oh yeah, he's got some stuff he's doing.
He's got some stuff he's doing. Probably making a bunch of money in cryptocurrency or something. And that's what we're talking about today.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. How do you make money in cryptocurrency?
We get that question every day.
Every day. And we're still figuring out a lot of those ways ourselves, to be honest with you. We're just four regular guys, three today, and we study it. We're intrigued by it. We realize the opportunity.
It is a game changer for a lot of people, but it's the we're in that cycle of adaptation. Most people don't know anything about Bitcoin. It's still a mystery to a lot of us, and so we're trying to help
remove. It's like being in. I said this earlier. It's like being in on the beginning of the New York Stock Exchange.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, when the New York Stock Exchange
what
was
is stock?
When companies put their stock out to raise money to really make a mark and become a big industry in the U.S. and the U.S. was growing and there's opportunity. Well, today that is now a global opportunity.
Yep.
And this cryptocurrency is very similar in so many ways as the stock exchange.
Well, like you said, Gary, you got the IPO. With this, you got the ICO. So it's got great similarity. You got the stock exchange. You got the cryptocurrency exchange. It's a new dimension to how you can make money.
A lot of people aren't buying it, though. Why?
Well, because they don't understand it. They got this perception. Remember, it says reality. Perception is the ultimate reality, but not necessarily true. So if you don't have enough information, you just give an opinion on something. Yeah. You don't have enough knowledge to make decisions that could be opportunities for you. So that always happens in anything.
I think too, and I hate to be a conspiracy theorist about this, but there's one reason why there's the mega rich and then the middle class. Boy, there's a big difference between middle class and the mega rich. I mean, it's a bigger gap than you see between the poor and the middle class. And I'll tell you why.
What's that?
Because the guys up at top, they're not like the four regular crypto crew guys.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking. Us compared to them is like two kids at Sunday school with their animal crackers and some juice, And these guys are out making big deals, killing people over things, people doing crooked deals, ruining lives. I mean, they're mean people in that way up there.
But then there's
not all of them, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but then they got the other side. You don't have to talk to them long about certain things.
But they don't talk about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but
we're here sharing all this information with people. We want
to
everybody to get in.
Yeah, we want.
They don't want everybody in.
But I got a little different perspective on where did the middle class come from?
There is no middle class.
There's only two. There's only two.
The haves and have-nots.
Well, I mean, when you get into God's perspective, there was only two. There was only supposed to be one. That was supposed to be the rich. Because the blessing gave you everything. When man fell, he got the other end of the spectrum. So there's only the rich and the poor. Middle class is a deception. And that's where most people are collected, in the middle class. And that's where everybody wants to go. But the middle class is right above water. That's all it is.
It's highly leveraged.
You're right there.
And you're highly leveraged.
Yeah, you're right there in the middle class. And that's why it says the rich rules over the poor. The rich will always determine what happens in your city, in your state, and in your country, because they make they determine everything.
So basically what this boils down to is who controls
the
money, and everyone is going to control the money.
See, that's
everybody is going to have
dynamic, and that's why the current system, the way it's set up, doesn't like Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies and all that. So, we've got a few people we've talked about and researched here this week about who have money but understand cryptocurrencies and encourage it. One of them was on a recent show. Who's that anchor?
Maria Bartow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She was on with. She's always
Fox
just,
Business.
She does Fox
or at least
Business
she's
show.
questioning Bitcoin all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Or are we shooting it down?
But I bet she's
We know
highly
she's
invested
leveraged.
in it.
You know she is. You know she is. She talks about it too much and not to be testing it out.
She was talking to Peter
Thiel.
Yeah.
Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a guy that started PayPal. And he's an opinion leader, I would say, in this area because he's familiar with
the tech. He's
on
familiar
the
with
technical
tech.
side. He's also a venture capitalist, so he sees trends.
Right.
And this is one that he sees. And he's jumped on board.
Yeah, he is. As you can see here, we pulled up his Wikipedia on him. His company is like, I can't see this very well. It sees $2.2 billion in net worth is what he's worth. Boy, that's amazing. You said he was a venture capitalist, a philanthropist even. At least he's giving some money away. But $2.6 billion. He knows a little bit about money.
I know a little bit about money, so you kind of got to pay a little attention to
Yeah,
it.
so we got a interview that we're going to roll with him in just a few minutes. And so we kind of run off on a tangent there for a minute because we were talking about wealth and but what I'm saying is you just don't hear these kinds of people trying to share the knowledge, just like the knowledge,
right.
you know. They get stingy with it. And we're here to help spread the knowledge because there is a way to make money.
Sure it is.
In Bitcoin.
Sure it is.
There's a lot of ways. We're going to go over a number of those points here in a few minutes. But let's see about the credibility first of all, because there's a lot of naysayers.
Let's look at this guy.
Let's take a listen.
Really successful in terms of watching where the growth is in the world and identifying the companies that are, solving important problems. What excites you right now? What can you look at in the world today that you feel like, wow, that is a good idea, or that is really where the growth story is?
I'm always nervous about being excited about things because that always feels too irrationally exuberant and too emotional. And
like 1999.
Yeah, so I went through 99, so a lot of people were very excited, and that was dangerous. But if you ask, what are the things where there's, what's very charismatic and that people are not paying enough attention to, I think there are these pockets in biotech that I find like that. The one other one that I've been looking at a lot more have been the cryptocurrencies, and while I'm skeptical of most of them, I do think people are a little bit are maybe underestimating Bitcoin specifically, because it's like a reserve form of money. It's like gold, and it's just a store of value. You don't actually need to use it to make payments. And it's been, there's about $70 billion worth of Bitcoin in the world. There's $9 trillion worth of gold. And if Bitcoin ends up being the cyber equivalent of gold, it has a great potential left. So it's a very different kind of thing from what people in Silicon Valley normally focus on. Companies, not algorithms or protocols. But this may be one exception that's very underestimated.
Well, people question it, and I know there's been so much debate about Bitcoin, but they question it because what is it based on? I mean, you see that the dollar is based on, the trust of the Treasury, the trust of the U.S. government. What is Bitcoin based on?
Well, the argument it's based on the security of the math, which tells you that it can never be diluted by a government. It can't be hacked. And it's a form of money that's absolutely that's secure in an absolute way. Of course, you could ask the same questions about gold. That's why I use the gold analogy. You could say, what is gold based on? Why is gold valuable?
Well, it's a tangible asset, though, gold.
It's a tangible asset, but it's also hard to mine. So if it was easy to mine gold, then it wouldn't be that valuable because we would just have way more gold. So Bitcoin is also, it's mineable like gold. It's hard to mine. It's actually harder to mine than gold. And so in that sense, it's more constrained. And so, yeah, there are a number of things that I think make it somewhat similar to gold. And then the question is just, does this become more widely
And it's anonymous, right? I mean, that's one of the beauties of it. You can be anonymous using Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's half anonymous, half not. So it's again this intermediate thing. There's a question whether that's right or not, but it's a bearer instrument. So if you have the Bitcoin, if you know the key, you can go anywhere. Most of the time, most securities are registered, not bearer security. So it's a very unusual kind of a security.
Okay.
Well, there it is.
There you go.
Yep. Well, you saw how she was trying to say, is Bitcoin legitimate? Is it real money? How can it? How can you really make money off of this? And that's one of the questions I want to ask you guys. You know, how do you make money off of this? And is it real? You know.
Yeah, it's real. And it's always a perceived look. People buy gym shoes for $200.
Well, based on perception.
Based on perception. I just use that one. They buy the gym shoe, but however, Nike stock is $57. But they're willing to spend $200 for the gym shoe.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Exactly.
They could be owning 2 or 3. Well, no, 200. Let's go 4, almost 4.
4 shares of stock,
and
create a cash flow, a passive cash flow for themselves for the rest of their life, as long as Nike is around.
They get those sneakers dirty and
and that's all they get. That's all they get.
They
so
get
they're not getting any return
to mow the lawn.
Right, they're not getting any return. So it goes back to what we said. This is the time to get smart, man. This is not the time to be afraid. This is the time to get smart. So some of the ways that you can make money through Bitcoin is phenomenal, because that's what you're trying to do with your savings account. You're trying to make money off of that savings account.
Well, that dream is that
it's
cow's already been let out.
Yeah, it's shot, and you're connected to a bank when you're doing that.
Yeah.
But one of the ways that you can make money with Bitcoin is you can buy it and hold it.
Oh, just buy it and hold it, and then when you buy it and hold it, what happens at that point?
Boom, it goes on. Okay, now we just started since January. Bitcoin in January was $1,200, right?
Right.
Last week it was how much?
6,000
in 6 months.
In 6 months, all right. We got video. Well, we talked about a video. Some young guy was 18 years of age. He bought some Bitcoin when in 2009, $12 worth. He's a multi-millionaire today. Now, he can convert that to whatever he wants. He can convert it to gold. He can buy some insurance. He can buy a house. He can turn that into a hard asset and still keep some Bitcoin.
Yeah, even if you buy Bitcoin and let's say it's at 6,000 right now, and she's it can't get any higher than that. It's just perception.
It
can. That's what people thought back when it was 1,000.
There you go.
We thought by the end of the year, hopefully it might be $2,000. Remember
we were
talking
just
about
talking
it could be $2,000
to get an extra $500 out. But look, it's gone up 3 times, 4 times.
And you know, from what these guys are saying, and this guy here is saying,
well, we've seen it, guys. We've seen
it's a limited supply of it.
We've seen
it's
it
even more limited than gold as far as the supply. That's one of the things that makes gold valuable. Is there's almost so much gold in the world.
Right.
You've always heard that.
Right.
So gold is valuable. There's only so much of it. Now there's still a lot to be mined.
Sure,
but it's not easy and it's expensive to get there. But with Bitcoin, there's only so much of it that's going to be made.
It has some of the same principles as gold.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to.
But we're going to get to that end here in 2020, aren't we?
Yeah.
2021.
So you can hold it.
You just said the key word, mining. You can only mine so much Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
That's number
cash.
2.
Yeah, cash. You can make as much cash as you want. You know, the Federal Reserve is just print.
Well, let's talk about that as just a minute for cash.
Yeah.
Because you brought up earlier, and it was kind of off topic, and we're chasing some rabbits here, but although we love cryptocurrencies and investing in them and knowing that these opportunities are popping up with ICOs and things like that, we don't want to give up our cash.
Oh, absolutely not.
As long as the dollar has strength,
it's still around.
Or whatever currency we get, or live in whatever part of the world we live in, and that currency has value, you don't want to give it up.
Cash is your most private transaction you can ever make. It's cash.
Yeah, nobody can follow it on a blockchain, or nobody can follow it in a bank.
Actual
That's
cash.
peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is
peer-to-peer. Now,
from one hand to the other hand.
Right, it's cumbersome.
Yeah,
it's cumbersome.
There's no more. You can't get any more private than cash with a financial transaction.
you really should have cash.
You gotta always have some cash, man.
There's nothing wrong with cash. You know, as long as the dollar's strong, you should have some cash. You should put some cash in your safe at the house.
You gotta have some.
Cash is king for now. Because it's going to change.
And the U.S. dollar is king.
It's changed.
I mean, the
For
U.S.
now.
dollar
has
is
changed.
king. I mean,
it's
we're not saying that,
it's still a goal of currency.
Don't go burn it up. And,
it's not worth it.
But you can give it away to me.
Exactly.
I'm going to convert it.
The American dollar still makes everybody's eyes buck when they see it. You can go to a foreign country and you pull out an American currency, everybody.
Yeah, we're not here to diss cash. We're not here to diss. But who controls the supply of it determines what that cash you have is worth.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that you don't have control over.
You have no control over that.
You don't have control over that. That's controlled by the central banks.
Right.
So, but getting back to cryptocurrency and ways to make money, we got a little list. We'll go down here in just a second. But before we go there, we've already got one testimony here. We showed with the guy on
Peter Thiel.
Yep. And Peter laid it out. He understands technology. He's a billionaire. He's invested in tech companies. He knows what's going on.
He understands transactions.
He says it's underestimated. Yeah. Bitcoin's underestimated. Yeah. And don't underestimate Bitcoin.
Don't you guys underestimate this.
Don't underestimate the coins that are going to do something. One of the things I brought them up last week was one I just recently bought was Stellar Lumina. Stellar Lumina. Stellar Lumina is a coin that was created from the same guy that made the Ripple coin, which the banks have adopted.
It's the centralized Bitcoin.
Centralized banks adopted Ripple, and they are going to use it to transfer money across government boundaries and make it cheaper for them, and then they're going to make a little money on charging somebody for it, but it'll cut their costs.
Sure it will.
They'll cut their back end.
It's going to remove their back office.
Their back office.
Yeah.
So they're invested in it real. And I don't think we've seen Ripple do what it's going to do.
Oh,
it's
no, you have no idea what that's going to do.
We don't have no idea.
It's going to be big, too.
But the same guy who created that, he also, he left there and he fixed a lot of things that he didn't develop in Ripple. He tweaked it, and he started a nonprofit organization that is making this cryptocurrency to transfer money and value around the world available for that 2 billion. That 2 billion people we talked about who
never
are
had a checking account, have
never done
a financial transaction.
What's the number
on
that again?
Over 2 billion.
2 billion.
Over 2 billion. Now you can't
people
overlook 2 billion people. You can't. You just can't overlook.
First of all, that's a market.
That's the world. I mean, that's
the world.
That just made them. Those 2 billion people in the
third world, as they call it.
Yeah, third world. The people who are in the first world, people who got money and don't think twice about somebody living on $2 a day.
Right.
We don't even think about these people. They're irrelevant to us.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's a horrible thing to say. They're not irrelevant. They're valuable. There's nobody just like that person. Nobody just like you, me, or you. Exactly. We are so rare. Each one of us are like a diamond. There's not another one like it.
Exactly.
So everybody's valuable.
But the current money system doesn't include them.
They don't include them. They don't even think of them. Oh, we would put a bank out there, but it costs us too much to have a bank out there in that wilderness somewhere. Well, those guys are going to work every day trying to feed their family just like you and I. And I can just see this guy in Southeast Asia. He's got a water buffalo. He's got a few chickens. He got a makeshift house he's got, and he's trying to, give his kids a good start in life. He's teaching them his trade and maybe sending them to a little school down the street half a day because they got to get back in health. And he's kind of stuck with, I'd like to, if I could, he's probably thinking, if I had 2 water buffalo, I could do my buddies harvesting and planting.
So he can't be an entrepreneur.
And he'd give me some more chickens.
Yeah, he's struggling to be an entrepreneur.
He's struggling because he doesn't have an easy access of a currency to trade for.
Right.
Now you put some money and a little micro loan in his hand.
It's over.
It's over. He can get 2.
He starts innovating.
I can see him get 3 water buffalo. He's already now got a harvesting business.
Yep.
He's got for his neighbors. And then they say, hey, I'll give you a couple chickens. And they said, well, hey, why don't you try this cryptocurrency
and
pay me so I can pay back my loan on cryptocurrency.
And cheaper.
So it begins to really grow an economy in that third world. And they become first world. And Bingo. It's opened a market of 2 billion people. So I'm really excited about Stellar
I think it's outstanding.
IBM got involved in it.
Yeah, they see it coming down the pike.
And it's a little bit of competition to the banks, but it's serving an area that they don't even want to serve anyway.
You don't have to go.
Somebody
else will.
Somebody else will. So
that's it.
It's really cool. So that is a way you can do it, is find the cryptocurrencies that are doing a function, are doing a service that is unique and valuable. That coin is valuable.
There you go.
You need to buy it. And you don't need to wait till it's $6,000.
You do it now.
Right now.
You get it now. You know what I bought that thing for? $2?
$2.
I mean, 2 cents.
2 cents.
2.5 cents.
And you did a calculation. You said you can turn that $100. If that goes to $50, you have $188,000. Try doing that in your 401k. I'm just.
No. You're just
trying to do it.
Now that may not happen next year. It might be 2 or 3 years down the road because they got to get all these. They got to develop the app and and all that.
But
kind
that's
of
the whole point.
People are doing that every day.
That's the whole point. You see, and that's what I'm saying. Certain guys or certain mindsets, they see that, and that's basically what we're trying to talk about now. You may have to change your mindset about the cryptocurrency world because it's here.
Yeah,
and it's a matter of you trying to position yourself. You can't be on. I mean, you can sit on the sideline if you want, but that's not our motive. Our motive is we want to encourage people to get involved and see this because we're average guys taking advantage of a situation. It happens all the time. It happens all the time, and this is here to stay. These guys are talking about it because they're doing something with it.
Yeah. Who's the guy? Who's the co-founder of Apple?
Stephen Wozniak.
Yeah, the Woz. The Woz. The Woz. Let's take a look at what he's all about. And let me see here. Yeah, here's the Woz. You can learn a little bit about this guy. He is an American inventor, electronics engineer, programmer, philanthropist, and technology entrepreneur that co-founded Apple. Okay, he's known as a pioneer of the personal computer revolution, and in the 70s and 80s, along with Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. He's the quiet brainchild behind.
Steve Jobs was the marketing guy.
Right.
And he was the tech guy.
This is the tech guy.
Exactly.
So he was in the back room while Steve was out front talking. He was in the back room.
So here he is, and let's look at a few things that he said. He said Bitcoin is better than gold and the U.S. dollar.
That's a big statement.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in for just a minute, okay? Now, here's what else he said. There's a certain finite amount of Bitcoin that can ever exist. Gold gets mined and mined. Maybe there's a finite amount of gold in the world, but Bitcoin is even more mathematical and regulated, and
nobody can change mathematics.
Nobody can change mathematics. The guy's not a novice. The guy's got a lot of money.
And nobody's paying him to say that.
Right.
No.
So it's not political.
Exactly. Fiat money, as he thinks, can just be printed as some influential bankers want, while with Bitcoin, such things are impossible.
So in other words,
it's a game changer.
Yeah. When the government wants money, they just go print it.
They just print it.
So, and that brings down the value. If you got, what is a dollar worth today? We don't, is it worth 4 cents or something?
4 cents.
And we think it's $1.
Well, originally it was worth $1.
Yeah.
So because of inflation,
it's worth 4 cents.
And because they print so much of it, 4 cents.
Man, it's just like this. Let's say you got your checking account, man. Let's say you got $10,000 in your checking account, and you spent $9,000 yesterday. And when you wake up the next morning, you got the same $10,000 in your account. You know something. You know something wrong. Don't you think something wrong?
I love this. I love this. When I was a kid, my dad told me. He said, back when my mom sent me to the grocery store, go to the dry goods store, or whatever it was back then, and back in the day, when he was a young man, a kid, teenager, she'd give him $5. He couldn't bring
back everything that he could.
Yeah, he had a wagon and a helper, and it was in bags.
Yeah,
lots of stuff she had on her list that he went down to the store to get.
Right,
with $5.
$5.
And I used to think of that. I said, "Wow, man, you can't even fill it." I said, $5 I can get in one sack. That's all. $5 ain't worth what it did. It used to be, Dad. He said, yeah, because they had lots of stuff. Well, that $5, when I was a young man, he was telling me that, fit in this. $5, you get one item nowadays.
Man, you can't even get a Happy Meal with $5.
Can't even make a Happy Meal.
And that's what we're just saying.
That's inflation.
Yeah, that's
inflation. That's a real picture.
And it's going to affect us as we get older. It's going to affect us even more. And that's the thing that we're just looking for another avenue.
So you know,
okay, but hold on, Gary, one second. Just like you said, you bought the Luminous.
Right.
You bought it last week.
Yep. Got 5,000 of them.
What percentage have you earned in a week?
About 19%.
19% in a week.
In 1 week?
Now, as I always said, now you can take that $100 and keep it in your savings account, and you're gonna have to wait all year for a quarter.
But your dollar's only going to be able to buy 3 cents next year.
Right. And why is that? I got $1 right here. This is the key difference. I said, let me make this simple. What's the difference between this dollar and Bitcoin when it's created? This is created when debt is created. Oh, so you're already coming in the world. Debt has to be created
to get
first. That. Whereas with Bitcoin, a value is created first. That's a big difference right there. Need I say more?
So you dig in your hole when you get there.
Well, you're right. You know, hey, look at that. Well, you're already in the hole when you're digging it.
Exactly.
But you got to dig a hole to get it.
Now, what's going on, y'all?
Something ain't right here. Something ain't right.
And we chase. This is what we're chasing.
Yep.
And I says, look, this is an opportunity. This is what it is. And those who get insightful about it are getting on. Now, it's just a matter of how fast you take.
Well, Marvin, it's like you said, the middle class.
Yeah.
Because of the inflation, they're just
little hamsters.
Yeah, they're just keeping. Yeah.
You're right here. It's designed to keep you right here.
You're treading water, or you're running around the cage.
Everything's getting paid. Everything's getting paid.
And you're not
I got to make
anywhere.
more money because next year this money ain't going to be
worth
worth as much.
It's going to be less. So you get your raise, you still right here.
Well, but the average person only gets like a 1 to 2% raise every year.
And that's
to keep up with inflation.
Ain't nothing's changed.
Nothing's
changed. You got your raise and nothing's changed. And so we're just looking at the only thing that's going to change is you got to get ushered into a wealth position. Until you get into a wealth position, man, nothing clears up.
Nope.
You can't see straight.
So here's our opportunity. Let's think about this. Oh, no, you're preaching, brother.
We're getting a little off, but
our opportunity, we didn't get into the first opportunity. We weren't even born during the
gold rush and all that.
Yeah, the gold rush and the creative, the great economy of the United States when it was just blossoming back in the early 20s and all that. We missed all that because we weren't even born. But a new age is here and a new way of doing things because of the computer itself and because of the science, the technology of computer science. Somebody come up with a really good idea. It's called Bitcoin. And then other currencies came on after that.
It is.
And we have an opportunity today to find some ways, and let's talk about it because we're going to run out of time.
The other one is trading cryptocurrencies on the exchange.
Goodness. Trading cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, just like a stock market.
Just like the stock market.
You can see it going up, you see it going down, buy it now, and then next,
And here's the thing that we talked about earlier today, guys, who says, and ladies and gentlemen, what we want to know is liquidity is the most important thing in your investing. How fast can you get it? If you want to trade your stock, how fast are you going to get the money from your 401k? And I use the 401k because that's where most people
put their money. And then somebody else trades it for you, and you're paying fees. And if you do any kind of research on that at all, a lot of fees get eat up over
time. Yeah, they
don't care as long as you buying and selling. They're making money
with them.
Yeah, with them. Yeah,
this is so great because you can kind of do it on your own. Yep. But as I said, liquidity is one of the most important things when you're investing. How fast can I get my returns out? I want to be able to access.
Well, Jamie Dimon, he dissed it a few weeks ago, and we covered it, and he's still out there barking. But he's paid well to bark against Bitcoin, and they're out there talking trash on Bitcoin, say it's dark money, and cryptocurrency's a bubble, and but the people who got money and people who know something about technology, like
These
the
guys,
Woz,
these guys we mentioned.
these guys we just mentioned, they see the value of it, and they are adopting it early, and we've adopted it early. If we'd had capital like some of these guys, could you imagine how we could adopt?
Exactly.
You know, we have a limited amount of capital because of our station in life at this point.
Right.
But because of the upside of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of study, you can make some money.
Man.
Just knowing which coins are solid, based on good technology.
Yeah.
Based on, you know, another thing you have to value a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency by is the team that's behind
the support,
the support of the blockchain that it's built on. You can go to the sites for those particular cryptocurrencies. You can read about the technology. You can read about who's behind it and what successful projects they've had before. Like I was saying, the bankers bought into the Ripple because it's a good system. It's faster than Bitcoin.
Sure it is.
It's a fast blockchain for transferring money. It was actually stripped down and took everything that was good about blockchain and it put it into a real fast transfer.
It is
of
the
funds.
Centralized Bitcoin.
It is.
What Ripple
It's a centralized
It's the
Bitcoin.
centralized
For the banks.
Bitcoin of the banks.
Through the banks.
Yeah.
So when Stellar Luminous was invented or developed, it was developed by the same guy.
Same guys.
So you can feel pretty good that it's built on good technology. So that was one of my criteria for buying it. It was that. Plus, the big need out there that I saw for 2 billion people, needing a way to do banking. And that's this coin is going to be adopted.
It's a problem solver for 2 billion people. And that's one of the things.
That's a third of the earth.
Man, that's not something you just overlook and close your eyes.
Oh,
close
2
your
billion,
eyes and
2 billion people.
No, those people, just like the story we talked about before, in Venezuela, man, they started mining. They started mining, and then they started buying food on Amazon and smuggling it back.
Shipped it over to near the border.
There you go, smuggling it back into their country because they didn't have no other way to eat. So it's just all those kind of things. I just know I'm doing this. I'm doing it now. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. You can do it. You can buy and hold too.
You can buy and hold it.
See that if you're not comfortable with the ups and downs and doing all the research and you don't understand it, well, just buy good coins. There's the top. Let's talk about the good coins up here.
Yeah.
You know, some of the good coins that you purchase will have a good market cap. In other words, it's being traded.
What's the top 5 coins? And they're always the top 5.
They're always the top 5.
They're top 5 for a reason.
Up here. Okay, you got Bitcoin, and it's trading right now, and I'll just refresh this to make sure if it's come up or down a little bit. Okay, it's holding at 57.37.
And now Bitcoin is 40% of the crypto market.
Yeah.
40%.
You see how many billions in market cap?
It is bigger than Goldman Sachs.
They're bigger.
Now, see, those are
little facts that
little
nobody
facts
wants.
that we're not paying any attention to, but Wall Street is.
Yeah, when they heard the news that Bitcoin's market cap is larger than all the assets and holdings
Then one of the major players, Goldman Sachs, your pension fund might be linked to Goldman Sachs.
Think about that.
Just think about all those kind of things.
And this is bigger than that.
Yes.
Now you're talking Ethereum. Ethereum is a coin that has got so many partners and so many projects behind it because it's an effective, well-designed blockchain. And it's at 300. Ripple, the one we were just talking about, is at 20 cents. Okay, that's nothing. It's insignificant. Buy it because it's 20 cents. You can get 5 of those things.
But you can't just look at the price. You got to look at what is Ripple for.
Oh yeah. The Bitcoin Cash was when they had we haven't even talked about. They had a new fork recently. That's a whole other thing. But anyway, we had a fork. I got some free Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash. But then you take Litecoin.
Which is really Bitcoin Lite. That's all it really is.
It's the silver.
Yeah, it's the silver.
Kind of the silver of Bitcoin.
And that's
Dash and Neem and BitConnect and Neo. We could go into BitConnect a little bit. We won't though. Monero, IOTA, Ethereum Classic. Any of the top 20 coins here. Oh, there's Stellar Luminous right there. See that? It's at $3.03.
You made 14% last year.
Yeah, right. I made some money. And then, so your top 20 Tether is a cool coin. And I want to get into this. This is one of strategy. We're talking about a way to trade or some philosophies on how do you make money. Ever since, and I haven't instituted it all yet because there's a lot to learn. You got exchanges I've signed up for. You got to worry about your security on changes. We'll talk about security one time in this show.
Oh, that's a whole show.
That's a whole show. But you got to get all your ducks in a row. But one of the things I'm thinking is Tether, and I do know there's some guys out that are doing this. I've seen a few videos on it. The strategy of taking this coin Tether, which all hangs with a dollar. It hangs with the U.S. dollar. If the dollar, and with Bitcoin's value of the dollar, Bitcoin's value of the dollar, it stays right at $1. Wow. So when Bitcoin goes up there, like it is right now, or like it was last week, the key to do, a key thing you can do, and you can kind of trust that the Tether's going to stay at $1. You sell your Bitcoin at 6,000, and you put that 6,000 into Tether, right?
So
then
it's
when
like a
Bitcoin,
shelter.
it's a shelter. Then when Bitcoin comes down to where it is right now,
It's always
57.
It's always going to
go ahead and buy some more Bitcoin. So you're buying $6,000 of Bitcoin at 57, which gives you more than one Bitcoin. You get Bitcoin and some change.
So are you being smart or are you being scared?
Oh, you get knowledge. It's smart.
And that's the key.
That's smart. So that's a strategy I want to put into place in my investing with cryptocurrencies, is using that Tether as my bank. Why is that there? Did somebody? Why? I got to do more research on why Tether is even there and who created it.
And this is what we're telling you guys is get involved in this. Do your research.
Do some YouTube watching. You don't have to be a brainchild. Look at us. I mean, we're just three regular guys, got regular jobs, and we see that this is an opportunity for us to become wealthy, actually.
And the thing about it is, in the last point, we don't want you to get scammed.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. If you don't give knowledge, you're going to get scammed.
You're going to get scammed.
Open up the box.
Hey, we've
open up the black box.
We've been scammed. I will say it. It's a dirty word around here. It's a dirty word, and you could just research it. Gladiacoin. Okay. We were novice. We heard you could triple your money and in just a short period of time. And we thought, hey, that's cool. And we love the concept of Bitcoin, and that kind of got us excited. But then they said, but you do this and you can triple it. Oh boy, that's even better. Well, lo and behold, about 3 months after we all got in it and put some money in it, the guys that started it
checked out.
It was a Ponzi scheme. And there's a lot of them out there. You got to be careful. If you can't, if they're not a chartered company and truly a chartered company,
know who the owners are.
Right.
Know who the owners are. And
how transparent are they?
Are they transparent out on the internet? Or they having any conferences and stuff like that? It's not even a guarantee there, but nonetheless, because we've seen some even those go down there. Yeah. But even U.S. companies that have all the criteria and educated people running them go bust. So
you ever heard of a bounce check?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a matter of do your due diligence, and everything when you invest is
a risk. It's a risk.
It's a risk. So you got to minimize your risk. It's all about minimizing your risk.
And we basically broke out even in this.
Well, we didn't lose big time.
We didn't lose money.
Some guys put
the money that we put
in,
we got back. But think about all these guys that.
Yeah, you have some people who really...
And that's why you also want to be careful about what you suggest, even in this show. I mean, I'm talking big on stellar luminous right now. I like the concept. I'm not saying that, go put $10,000 in stellar luminous tonight. Don't
invest what you're willing to lose.
And
don't put the house money in there.
Yeah, what is it called? Your risk
tolerance.
What's your risk tolerance?
Risk tolerance, and all of us have a level of risk tolerance. Some will, some won't.
Yeah,
and that's understandable. And
but do your due diligence. It's just like like making friends. When you make friends with people, you get to know who they are before you get.
But all your friends not the same.
That's right. Before you invite somebody to the house, you get to know them a little bit. You see them here or there in business or church or something, and then you might invite them over to the house. But you got to get to know them a little bit before you do that.
Get familiar with
the cryptocurrencies
and, get
and the different companies.
Yeah.
And your knowledge.
Yes.
You know, do as much as due diligence to educate yourself on what a wallet is and what a exchange is and all those things.
Oh, you know, we were talking about it. One of the key things is if you invest in anything, make sure you can get to your money at any time.
It's liquidity.
That's the key.
Liquidity is.
If you got to put your money in and you can't touch it for
a year
and all of this other stuff, you got to jump through hoops to get your money. That's red flags.
Yeah, and there's new companies coming up all the time, and that are like a mutual company where they take and buy different stocks and different. But it's in cryptocurrencies, buy different cryptocurrencies, and they're earning some money, and they're going to share it with you, kind of like a mutual fund, you know, share the profits. Yeah. They're coming up all the time, and some of them are founded on good principles, and some aren't, just like some of these mutual funds. You can lose your rump in those, too.
You can't invest in everything.
You can't invest in everything.
You just can't do it all, man.
So we just have to do our due diligence. I guess that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Tune into our show, subscribe, ask questions. If you don't agree with us,
that's fine too.
Put that in there. We'll address that. Yep. We are learning how to respond to your questions and your comments as well as we're growing this channel. And we're run out of time. We've just flat run out of time.
It gets like that sometimes.
It's just a lot of fun with you guys. I'm telling you, man. I enjoy it. Boom.
Yeah.
I enjoy this.
We'll be back.
And we enjoy you. We'll be back next week. So keep in touch. Thanks.
Yeah. See you.
See you, guys.